Damascus is certainly a lot more tense than the last time I was here at the end of April. There's been a renewed bout of government shelling, you could say, of some suburbs around the city which have long been centres of opposition, some of which have been shelled before. But in the area of Qudsaya, which people in the district around it were fleeing yesterday, in their families in cars, saying that a very heavy government attack had started at about 2 o'clock in the morning. And one woman who was escaping said, they're bombing, they're shelling, there are dead people on the streets. Well, why are they doing this? Why are they bombing and shelling us? So real distress there. The shelling has been particularly severe over the last 10 days or so, people say, since the UN mission suspended its peace monitor patrols. Now, the government maintains that it's taking proportionate action against armed opposition fighters who are active in those areas. In the center of the city, most areas are still calm, but people feel the conflicts creeping closer. There have been a series of mysterious bombs which have killed scores of people, often apparently targeted near government buildings, but it's still not clear who's behind those. The problem of refugees has become a very serious one. People have fled from all around the country. Some of these are loyalists of the government who are fleeing the fighting. They fear reprisals by the opposition, which has itself been accused of atrocities. But a very large number of them are fleeing shelling by the much better armed government forces, which have a capacity to really bombard civilian areas in a way that the opposition forces with their lighter weapons do not. One of the things this is doing is really changing the face of the conflict, the dynamic of the conflict, because, for example, I went last week to an area pretty close to the center of Damascus where there are a large number of refugees from the city of Homs, which of course has been one of the centers of the uprising. And there, people talked about how there were about 250 families from Homs in the area, and that just by sharing their experiences, people had really highlighted what was going on to residents of Damascus, some of whom, have a good idea of what's going on elsewhere in the country, but of course they don't have good access to independent news sources. So it's actually very important and significant when people come from some of these areas and say, actually, not what it's like, and the government shelled this area that they're from without any regard for the civilians who were living there. Michael Peel, Financial Times, in Damascus.